Hey, hey, hey. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another live edition of Carolina Panthers Talk brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the Two. I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. So, tonight we are going to preview the NFC South matchup for this Sunday. It'll be the Carolina Panthers traveling on the road to face off against the Atlanta Falcons for their first match, for the first game this season, their first meeting. This should be a good match. This should be a really, really good matchup between these two. I would say, some would say kind of an even matchup. I mean, right now, Falcons are 3-4, are 2-5. I mean, I'd say it may be pretty even, but Carolina has still yet to win their first road game this season. So this is a big deal. And Carolina has struggled in the past playing in Atlanta, although they did beat Atlanta in Atlanta last season. So this could potentially be a close game. But, Carolina's coming off a very impressive win over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, something they haven't done since 2019, and they shut out Tom Brady from scoring any offensive touchdowns. So that's one game. Are we going to see a win streak? If anything, it's important that this team has to take each game one game at a time. One game at a time. It's good that we got a chance to enjoy the victory over the Buccaneers. A very impressive victory, absolutely. But we got to move on. We got to move on to this Sunday because we got another NFC South matchup. We got to play Atlanta. And Atlanta, that's not a gimme. That's not a gimme. I mean, I'm not saying that they're the best team, but they are 3-4. They have won a couple of games. So definitely got to take them seriously. So with that being said, let's take a look at this matchup. So the ESPN matchup predictor, 64% chance that the Falcons win, 35.5% chance the Panthers win, and a 0.4% chance of a tie. Jeff R., good evening. Good evening. Good to see you. Welcome to the stream. Still banged up a little with the injury report. Actually, let's take a look at Atlanta's. They got AJ Terrell, D. Alford, questionable. Safety Jalen Hawkins is out. Jared Barnhart, wide receivers on injured reserve. Cordell Patterson is on injured reserve. I did not know that. Wow. Ugh. So both teams seem to be looking kind of banged up. Now, I know the latest big story is center Pat Elflein has been put on injury reserve, season ending, as he is going to be getting hip surgery. So, which of course he didn't play in the Buccaneers game. Bradley Bozeman came in and looks like he's going to be the starter going forward, which, Bradley Bozeman played well in the Bucs game. I think the one sack was the one that he gave up. But aside from that, Bozeman really didn't miss much of a beat. Chuba Hubbard, unfortunately, didn't practice because of an ankle injury, which he did injure in the Bucs game. So I'm hopefully it's not too serious, but if he can't go, we still have Raheem Blackshear, and they did bring Spencer Brown back to the practice squad. but it looks like Deontay Foreman is going to be the starting running back for Carolina, which, hey, that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. Deontay Foreman played great. Went over 100 yards in the Bucs game. So, hey, I think running game should still be fine. I mean, we had an impressive running game post Christian McCaffrey. So I think we do a 1-2 combo. I think the running game could still be strong, whether it's Chuba and Foreman or Foreman and Blackshear, which I believe Blackshear is also a pass catching running back as well, if I remember correctly. Spencer Brown, who had a decent preseason. So, I mean, I think we should be fine at running back, even if Chuba can't go. I think we'll be fine. Jeff R says, we're going to beat them. Their secondary is completely destroyed with injuries. It's the perfect opportunity for us. Yeah. They got a handful of people out. And I figured, and apparently I didn't know that Cordell Patterson was on injured reserve. And I always felt that was one of their main playmakers next to Kyle Pitts. But yeah, Jeff R, they are banged up some. They are definitely banged up. Let's see. Michael Jordan was out due to personal reasons. Taylor Moton, Marquise Haynes Sr., and Davion Nixon were out due to illness. So hopefully nothing serious. J.C. Horn and Dante Jackson were on the practice field. Oh, that's good. That's good. Miles Hartsfield, Sean Chandler were limited. So hopefully J.C. Horn, little by little, is making his way back onto the playing field. Frankie Louvu, Matt Ioannidis were limited as well. Same thing with Corey Littleton, Aaron Mosby, and Laviska Shenault. So a lot of players limited. But Chuba Hubbard, he's out. Or as in he didn't practice. And as I said, Pat Elflein is on injured reserve. He just got put on injured reserve. Bradley Bozeman will be the center going forward. And it has been announced and confirmed that PJ Walker will start again against the Atlanta Falcons. So good call by Coach Steve Wilkes. You got to ride the hot hand. Yes, it looked like word is there's a chance Baker Mayfield or even Sam Darnold could be good enough to go. But I agree with Steve Wilkes. You got to ride the hot hand. I mean, PJ Walker finished last week with the highest PFF grade. Played well. No turnovers. 2 beautifully thrown touchdowns. You got to ride the hot hand. So let's continue to see what PJ Walker can do. We got to take it one game at a time, but I agree that he should be rewarded with a chance to start again after the performance he put on last Sunday. So looks like we're going to get to see that. So smart call. Now, let's look at some rankings. Jeff R says, let's give an applause to our offensive line. They're playing. Bro. Yes. Yes. Our offensive line, like Ikem Ekwonu, our rookie, so far, I think he's only given up 2 sacks, and that was like in the first or second game. He hasn't given up another sack since. Our offensive line is balling right now. Even when Bradley Bozeman came in and started, gave up 1 sack, but the O-line has been balling. Ekwonu is starting to fit well. I think Ekwonu will be just fine. He's having a heck of a rookie year. And, dude, he's been adjusting. Yeah, he gave up 2 sacks in the early games, but he hasn't given up a sack since. He's been adjusting. You know? Icky is going to be a Hall of Famer. Hey, it's very possible. It's very possible. It is very possible he could be our next best left tackle after the Jordan Gross era. Shoot, why not? Why not? Kevin McFarland, welcome to the stream. Hello, how are you doing? I'm doing great. I'm excited for this game, and I think PJ will pass for more than 200 yards and 3 touchdown passes. Well, he almost got 200 yards in the Bucs game, and he threw 2 touchdown passes. So it's not impossible. It's not impossible if they execute and play a complete game of football. That previous game, they played a complete game of football, and seeing that PJ can throw downfield, and with the Falcons secondary banged up, we might see some more deep throws, you know? Think about it. Yeah, Kevin said it. The secondary is bad. Yeah. And even Jeff R. mentioned it. Secondary is destroyed with the injuries. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, as a matter of fact, yeah, AJ Terrell, questionable. D. Alford, questionable. Jalen Hawkins, he's out. Casey Hayward's on injured reserve. So, I mean, yeah. And 2 of their running backs are actually on injured reserve. Ooh, jeez. Yeah, they are pretty banged up. And you know what? Got to give shout outs to Miles Hartsfield. He had a heck of a game. Tay Hayes played. You know, we got our young guys in the secondary stepping up. Xavier Woods, although you had 2 interception opportunities, our guys are stepping up in the secondary. Kevin says, I just love the 2015 type defense. With Shaq and a great D-line. The offense has an amazing O-line. Facts. Our secondary is good. We are just playing complementary football. The team has brought in for sure. And the crazy thing is, even our folks are banged up. And you saw the performance that we had. You know, we're banged up on injuries too, but you see the performance that we had. So, hey, that's why we got to take the next man up seriously. But let's look at this. Let's look at this matchup. So, of course, the last time we played the Falcons, they did beat us at home, but you know, we did beat them on the road the first game last season. Carolina is 20-34 all time against the Falcons. So, and you know, the Falcons are 19-8 against us when they're playing at their home. Kevin says we just have not seen this type of chemistry since 2017. Facts. Jeff R says, I can't believe we are actually in position to be in the top place in the division with this win. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, that just goes to show. I mean, we lose Christian McCaffrey, Robbie Anderson. We lose our coach, D coordinator. You know, struggled on that first game. And then we win in Tampa Bay, although we did have Christian McCaffrey for the Rams game. But, and then just stuff is clicking. It's crazy. Wow. Okay. Now we got to talk about these rankings. Because these rankings are scary. These rankings are a little scary. Okay. Offense. Total yards per game, Carolina is dead last. Atlanta is 27th. Rushing yards per game, Carolina ranked 23rd. Atlanta is ranked 4th in rushing yards per game. But, I mean, with injuries to Damian Williams and to Cordell Patterson, both of them being on injured reserve, I mean, I don't know. Did they pick up anybody notable? Hold on. Did they pick up anybody notable? No, not really. Huh. I guess not really. Kevin says, I know it's one game, but something has changed. This team is just overall different overall on the plays and execution part, like when we were good. Yeah, like it's been clicking. It's been really clicking. But yeah, Atlanta's ranked 4th in rushing yards per game, but I would assume that was when they had their two healthy running backs, but both of them are on injured reserve right now. But I mean, it's something to keep an eye out. Net passing yards per game, Carolina's ranked 28th, Atlanta's ranked 31st. Sacks allowed, Carolina's ranked 25th, tied for 25th. Atlanta is tied for 23rd. Third down efficiency. Now this is where it's night and day. Carolina is ranked dead last on third down, ranked 32. Atlanta is ranked 5th. So Atlanta has been successful on converting third downs, y'all. So that can be a problem. That can be a problem. They have been successful this year on converting on third downs on offense. So that can be dangerous. And I know, ranked 4th in the rushing game, but we have to also remember in the Bucks game, I mean, we only held them to 46 yards total rushing. So this is, if the run defense shows up like they did last week, then this shouldn't be any different. Kevin says, I think our defense will really shut them down. They won't get to third down because they will fumble before. Here's hoping. I am all for getting takeaways. Points per game, Carolina's tied for 26. Atlanta is ranked 12th. And that's another thing we got to look at. I mean, we got to look at the games that Atlanta has played where they've put up points. I mean, even in 2 of the losses, they put up 26 points. And then in the wins, 27, 23, 28. So they have been able to score points. But that's on offense. They got the edge in the run game and then on third down. According to these rankings. So, our offense is going to be tested, but so will theirs. So will theirs. We are the better team now, I think, on all sides of the ball. I'm hoping that's the case. I really am. I'm hoping that's the case. On defense, total yards allowed, Carolina is ranked 18th. Atlanta is ranked 30th. Rushing yards allowed, Carolina is ranked 21st. Atlanta is ranked 5th. So Atlanta not only has a ranked 4th rushing offense, but they have a ranked 5 in rushing defense. So our run game is going to be challenged. Now, passing yards, passing defense. Carolina ranked 19th. Atlanta ranked dead last, 32nd. Kevin says the rankings are from the old offense. We don't speak of that anymore. We changed the team with Wilkes. This game could be cool. But these are the current up-to-date rankings, though, bro. These are legit the current up-to-date rankings. I mean, they update each week. So we still gotta keep a mental note of them. Otherwise, they wouldn't be there. Let's see. Passing yards, passing defense. Oh yeah, I just said that. Carolina's ranked 19th. Atlanta's ranked dead last, ranked 32nd. We need to take advantage of that. Okay, sacks. Carolina ranked 30th. Atlanta tied for 27th. Let's see. Third down efficiency. Carolina tied at 15th on defense, so actually pretty dang on good. Atlanta ranked dead last, so they've been struggling to get off the field on third down. We got to take advantage of that. Takeaways. Carolina's tied for 26. Atlanta's tied for 9th, so they're actually in the top 10. They're in the top 10. And then points allowed per game. Carolina's ranked 17th. Atlanta's ranked 24th. So, I mean, other than takeaways and rushing defense, Atlanta's defense is kind of low. It's pretty low, actually. I mean, Kevin, I understand that, but it updates on a weekly basis. You got to understand that. It says, but the old stats are pulling that down. We have not been doing that well all year, but now we are. I understand that, but they're not just going to jump up that quickly. It don't work that way. They're not going to just jump up that quickly. And you have to also remember, this is our first game won since week 3. Got to keep that in mind. I feel what you're saying, but there's a reason why these rankings are the way they are. There's a reason why they're the way they are. They will not be able to stop our run game, and our defense is different, man. We have a fighting spirit now with the new leadership. And I think a big part of that, Jeff R., being that we don't have a safety blanket in McCaffrey anymore, this really opens up a lot for our offense. I mean, we got to think about who all we got involved in that last game. Chuba Hubbard, Deontay Foreman, Terrace Marshall, Tommy Tremble. Tommy Tremble had a beautiful touchdown. DJ Moore did his thing. And not only that, PJ Walker was really reeling that ball into some tight windows. Like that touchdown he threw to DJ, and then the sideline first down catch that he threw. I don't know how in the world he nailed those two throws, but I felt like those were the two difficult throws he nailed in the last game. And I don't know how the heck he nailed them, but it was impressive. It was so impressive. But you know something? I think our offensive line is going to hold up really well. It's going to open up some holes. I think they established the run game like they did last week. Like I said, Deontay Foreman, he ate. Chuba Hubbard, he ate. If it comes down to it, get Raheem Blackshear or Spencer Brown. You can do some damage there. And then, looking at the receivers, who's going to step up? Who's going to step up? Kevin says, I like the team chemistry with Bradley Bozeman. He was the highest rated center this year. And he came in for Pat Elflein. Didn't miss a beat. Didn't miss a beat. So I'm hoping we got some good pressure on Tom Brady, even though we only got one sack. You know, he still made some pretty bad throws due to the pressure. I'm hoping we can rack up some more sacks this game, but Marcus Mariota can scramble, so we have to also play contain. He is a runner. He is a runner. So contain. I think is very, very important. As far as the offense, I mean, who's really their big threat on offense other than Kyle Pitts? Like, who is even their highest receiver? Oh yeah, that's right, Drake London. I forgot about Drake London. Okay, so they got a few weapons. I mean, on offense, Kyle Pitts, Drake London. They do have Damiere Byrd, I guess. I mean, former Panther. It's a speedster. And actually, Zacchaeus did a little something this year. Doing a little something this year. If anything, Kyle Pitts and Drake London stand out the most to me on their offense, to be honest with y'all. And then on defense, other than Grady Jarrett, who else really stands out on that Falcons defense? D. Alford, he's questionable. Casey Hayward, he's on injured reserve. AJ Terrell is questionable. I don't know. Jeff R says, yes, Bozeman is better than Elflein. Not going to lie, I'm very proud of what we're doing. Indeed. Kevin says, what is your score prediction or your thinking? No Julio Jones, thankfully. True. Score prediction. This is tough. Honestly, if the team plays complete football like they did against the Bucks, who I feel like is a more difficult team than Atlanta, despite the record difference. Honestly, who's to say that this can't be 28-7, Carolina? Who's to say this can't end up being 28-7, Carolina? You got to remember, I picked against us for the Bucks game, and y'all saw what happened. So, in all honesty, I think as long as we mimic what we did last week, Kevin says 38-0. Now I don't see that. I don't see a shutout. I don't see a shutout. We're playing in Atlanta. I don't see a shutout. Jeff R says 24-17 Carolina. That might be more of a realistic prediction. Only because Atlanta has been able to put up points. Even in losses, they've been able to put up some points. So I think overall it just comes down to execution. Because we got the plays and the weapons. I mean, the run game did well, opened up the passing game. I am hoping to see PJ get more opportunities to throw the ball downfield more. I do hope for that. I mean, he was 16 of 22. So, I mean, I would like to see him throw the ball downfield more. But, Ben McAdoo, run first, pass, so be it. Do what you got to do. Kevin says, I just love the fight in the team. The locker room video was unbelievable. We got it together. Did you see that praise dance that they did afterwards? That was pretty legit. Kevin says, I just hope we destroy them. Not realistic, but I want a 40-10 point game. It is so fun when the team is playing well. Probably more like 35-20. Well, anything is possible because I definitely did not think we were going to beat the Bucs 21-3. I definitely did not see that coming. So anything can happen. And we gotta remember, we got the Falcons this Sunday and then the Thursday after next. So we gotta play them, and then we got a short week because then we gotta play the Bengals and then the Falcons on a short week. So it's gonna be challenging. It's gonna be challenging, but you know what? I think we definitely have the tools to get this victory. I think we do. And like I said, kudos to Steve Wilks. Even though Baker Mayfield is back on the practice field, says, nah, we're going with the hot hand. PJ Walker's going to start. Smart man. Smart man. Tell me if Matt Rule would have said the same thing. Tell me Matt Rule would have said the same thing. One thing we need to get better at is third down. No more going third and out a lot. True. Although one of PJ's touchdowns was on a 3rd and 11. I will give him credit on that. But yes, I agree. We got to do better on third downs. Definitely got to do better. I think we were 4 of 12. Yeah, we were 4 of 12. The Bucs were 2 of 12. So that was really impressive. That was very impressive. We punted the ball like 6 times last game. Yeah, it was like 6 or 7. Yeah. But this is interesting. Steve Wilks likes to go through and meet with each guy individually. Interesting. So Steve Wilks has a different way of approach on how he's handling the meetups and the game planning. And apparently Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold both understand the situation. They both understand the situation. I mean, you got to ride the hot hand. Now, let me ask y'all something. In all seriousness. Just something to think about. If some way, somehow, we win the NFC South and make the playoffs under PJ Walker. Do you keep him? Do you keep him? Kevin says there's no way to go about it. This team is better prepared, and I love it. To see everything happy means a lot. Kevin says yes, absolutely. Ooh, Jeff R says nope. Okay. Y'all want to elaborate? I'm curious. We got a yes and we got a no. Okay. I think for me, it depends. Like, if PJ just game manager throughout the whole process, I might be at a crossroad. Now, if PJ balls out, like his stats increase along the way, and he balls out, then you got to consider bringing him back. You got to consider bringing him back. But if he just is mainly a game manager, then I could see it go either way. Kevin says PJ Walker would then have proved he has chemistry with the coach and the players. So why not? Fair point. Jeff R says we got to go with Matt Corral. We know PJ can't really sustain this. He's a career backup. That's his role. Never has been a starter. We keep him as the second string. This is true, Jeff R. But I really feel like if he ball, and I'm not saying that he will, because it's still going to be very difficult. Like I said, after all, we're only 2-5. But if this dude happens to ball out, I think there's got to be at least a little bit of consideration. A little bit. At least a little bit. If he balls out. If he's game manager, not so sure. But if he balls out, at least a little bit of consideration. PJ Walker might not put up the stats like a guy like Aaron Rodgers, but I'm impressed with his throws. Yeah. We're going to the Super Bowl. The writing is on the wall. I'll tell you this, Kevin. If we go to the Super Bowl and especially win it, then a ginormous amount of the Keep Pounding fan base is going to have to owe PJ Walker and many others a big ginormous apology. That's all I know. Jeff R says Cooper Rush is a good example. Bailey Zapp is another. We need a main starting quarterback. So Jeff R, let me ask you this. Do you think PJ Walker could be our next Derek Anderson sort of type role? Maybe our next Derek Anderson? You know? He was a great backup to Cam for so long. Kevin says I hated Derek Anderson. He was annoying. Yeah. I mean, he was cool after he came to Carolina. When he was with the Browns, he was kind of a jerk. Mr. Gemini, welcome to the stream. What's up? What do you think about Shaq saying the team wants Steve Wilkes as a coach? It's understandable. Because, I mean, the big argument was he never really had a fair shot in Arizona due to lack of weapons and such. So, I mean, I can understand the team wanting him to, get a shot. They play well this season and have him get a shot at becoming the the new full-time head coach. I can understand that. I can understand that. Jeff R says, too early to tell. We'll know more in a few weeks. Facts. And that's the thing that we got to remember. We got to take each game one game at a time. One game at a time. Remember, we got our second win, but that second win is one and done. We gotta move forward and take each game one game at a time. You know, they're not going to be easy, but each game is winnable to a degree. Each game is winnable to a degree. So we gotta take what we can. Jeff R says Wilkes has a shot. This is his shot. Let's see what he does with it. I'm rooting for Wilkes. Facts. This is definitely his shot. He's got the rest of this season to prove himself worthy of getting another full-time head coaching position. Personally, being that he's a Charlotte native, if he earns it, I am all for it. If he earns it, I am all for it. Especially him being a Charlotte native. Kevin says, I really think Steve Wilkes took over the play calling. I don't know. Maybe with defense, although, you know, how Al Holcomb is the D coordinator. But, I mean, I don't know. All I know is he was out there being involved, passionate, all the above. Mr. Gemini says, do you think Tepper cares about what the team wants? Honestly, I think all he really cares about is money. I mean, I could be wrong, but I feel like money is his number one priority, personally. I hope I'm proven wrong, but I'm under the impression that his number one priority is money. Kevin says, because our players are actually playing like they are coaches versus Matt Rule. And you know something? That was one of the things that was talked about. Is could this just be one of those things where folks just did not care to play for Matt Rule? Like, could this really have been the case that folks just did not want to rally behind Matt Rule? I don't know, y'all. It's something to think about. It's something to think about. They might not have ever really wanted to rally behind Matt Rule. Definitely, Tepper is greedy. Yeah. Mr. Gemini says, so that means Shaq needs to be quiet and go and win football games. I mean, you know, if you're going to talk the game, you better back it up. That's all I can say about that. If they're going to talk the game, they better back it up. For sure, he was terrible. Yeah, they're going to got to back it up. They got to back it up. The coach wants everything to buy in, and the players love Wilkes. Everyone hugs Rule. I see what you're saying. I know what you're trying to say. Yeah, I mean, and shoot, was that the first time PJ Walker got a game ball in his NFL career? I think that was the first time him getting a game ball. So shout out to PJ Walker. Shout out to PJ Walker on getting his game ball. Interesting take from Jeff R. Tepper doesn't care about the money. He's a billionaire, the richest owner at that. Billionaires like to win. This is about winning at everything he does. The money is good, but that's not all. Interesting. I always felt like it was the opposite with David Tepper, but nah, interesting take. Interesting take. I feel you. I feel you. I watched the Rule locker room video. His hype video was just his normal speech. Yeah. Yeah. Not really a passionate guy, this Matt Rule, if you ask me. He's right. Winning and everything but football. Yeah. Fair point. Fair point. But yeah. I really, let's see. Looking at our next upcoming games. Falcons, Bengals, Falcons, Ravens, Broncos. We got to take it one game at a time, but these are winnable games. Bengals will be very difficult. Ravens will be difficult, but they are winnable games. Just got to get it done. Mr. Gemini says people say that he didn't get a fair shot in Arizona, but he has a losing record overall, including college. Yeah, that is true. Unfortunately, that is true. As much as I hate to admit it, that is true. Which was why I was initially hesitant when he got named interim head coach. But, I mean, it's one of those things like Jeff R. says. We just got to see what he can do, with this opportunity now. That's really what it comes down to. We just got to see what he can do with this opportunity now. 5-6 as a college coach. Ooh, that's not that good. Or actually, that's pretty bad. Pretty bad. But yeah, we definitely we'll see how he does. I mean, it's a big opportunity for sure. It's a big opportunity for sure. But definitely winnable games. Like I said, this is week 8. We're in the week of the trade deadline. So no more trades after this week, y'all. So it looks like Carolina may possibly be done as far as trades. As a matter of fact, didn't we recently acquire somebody? I think we recently acquired somebody. Or am I misinformed? I could have sworn we just got somebody. We got somebody else. Oh, yeah, that's right. Henry Anderson is on reserve non-football injury list. I forgot about that. That's right. So there's been a little bit of shuffling around, due to injuries and such. And I can imagine that we're gonna get better as folks come back healthy. You know what I mean? I think as folks come back healthy, we'll get better. But man, I'm really hoping that we see more players on this team show up and show out. especially on offense. Now that we don't have McCaffrey, hopefully things open up. Kevin says, question about Taylor Moton. Is he okay? So he was held out of practice due to illness. So I don't know how bad it is, but hopefully it's not, hopefully it's not COVID related or anything like that. But yeah, he was listed with illness. Same as Marquise Haynes and Davion Nixon as well. So hopefully he'll be good to go. Because I'm trying to think. His backup, Taylor Moton, will be Cameron Irving. So if he can't go, Cameron Irving would be the next man up. Any updates on Jeremy Chin and J.C. Horn? J.C. Horn was back on the practice field and in uniform. So back on the field and in uniform. And so is Dante Jackson. Jeremy Chin, I believe, is still on injury reserve. Yeah, if I remember correctly, he's still on injury reserve. I haven't heard any updates, but yeah, he's still on injury reserve. Kevin says, not Cameron Irving. Yeah, we still got Cameron Irving. Yep. He's been playing the backup role, but yeah, we still have him. But he would come in for Taylor Moton on the right side instead of the left side. So who knows? Maybe he'll do better on the right side. You never know. He might do better at right tackle than left tackle. You know what I mean? What's up, Paul Mancini? Jeremy Chin returns from IR, I believe, next week. Oh, well, there you go. I mean, get that. Hopefully, J.C. Horn back, which I do agree. Very, very important player. And like I said, as we get our players back healthy, we're going to get stronger. Is all Steve Jordan on the active roster? Steve Jordan. Oh, you mean Michael Jordan? Yeah. Which I believe Michael Jordan didn't practice due to personal reasons. Yeah, he didn't practice due to personal reasons. So that's the deal with him. Let's see. Oh, Kevin says I don't like him because of the false starts. Ah, gotcha. Mr. Gemini says, do you think the players bought in on Steve Wilkes? Is that what you mean? Because it's starting to look that way. Paul says next week for the Bengals game, for Jeremy Chin to return at the soonest. Oh, we're going to need like our best pieces for that game. That Bengals game, that's going to be a tough game. And I think that's in Cincinnati. Yeah, that's in Cincinnati. So, because we got to remember, we haven't won on the road yet. So, We need to start getting some road wins, y'all. I mean, Falcons, Bengals, the Ravens game is a road game. The Seahawks game is a road game. So we got to start getting some wins on the road, y'all. We got to start winning on the road. That's going to be big. If we want to better our chances, we also got to start winning on the road. Got to. Road games are hard. Oh yeah. Especially we're playing the Bengals. I mean, we just lost to the defending Super Bowl champion Rams. That was on the road. We got to play the Bengals. They were in the Super Bowl. That's on the road. So check this out, y'all. Check this out. So we know we have a chance. You know, we know we have at least one win over the Saints and one win over the Bucks. Like, what do y'all think? How do y'all think we will finish in the NFC South? We play the Falcons this Sunday. We already have one win over the Saints and a win over the Bucks. So that's 2 down. That's 2 out of the 6 knocked out. Mr. Gemini says, and the Bucks ain't looking good. So now is our opportunity. Facts. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Had to sneeze. Sorry about that. I'm starting to believe again that maybe, just maybe, we could sweep 1 or maybe 2 of these NFC South teams. What y'all think about that? Think we could sweep 1, maybe 2 of these NFC South teams? Jeff R says, if we beat the Falcons Sunday, we'll win the division. We lose, we might be done. You know who else said that? Jonathan Stewart. As a matter of fact, Jonathan Stewart's picking Carolina to not only win this game, but then afterwards win the division. So, hey, we just got to go get it, y'all. We just got to go get it. We got to go get it. Mr. Gemini says, but then again, are we really getting it together? Or was it just the Bucks? Well, Mr. Gemini, let me remind you of a few things. Few things to keep in mind. One, before last Sunday, we hadn't beaten the Bucks in 2 years. 2 years. That's 4 games that we haven't beaten the Bucks. Secondly, how often have you seen Tom Brady not have a touchdown? I'll wait. We're talking about a 7-time champion, and then he didn't have a single touchdown. Mr. Gemini says, but the Steelers also beat them, though. So, Mr. Gemini, we haven't beaten the Bucks in 2 years before Sunday. Since Tom Brady came to the Bucks, we haven't beaten them. And we haven't swept the Bucks in a ginormous number of years. Last time we beat the Bucks was 2019, dude. 2019. and we held them to a field goal. Tom Brady. And I don't want to hear nothing about, oh, they were hurting with injuries. So are we. They weren't at full strength. We weren't at full strength. So that's not an excuse. It's not an excuse. Mr. Gemini says it's not the same Bucks anymore. Again, we haven't beaten the Bucks in 2 years. We haven't beaten the Bucks in 2 years. Come on, Mr. Gemini, don't do that. Don't do that. We haven't beaten the Bucks in 2 years. And how often has Brady, as a matter of fact, okay. Mr. Gemini says, I understand that, but the Bucks are trashes. Mr. Gemini, you're crapping on the win, man. You're crapping on our win. You're doing what a lot of other fans that I've been seeing doing. Don't do that. Please, please. From one fan to another, please don't do that. Don't do that. A win is a win, man. Don't do that. We beat a team we haven't beaten in 2 years. That's at least 4 straight losses to them. As a matter of fact, 5 straight, because the last time we beat them was 2019. We didn't sweep them. We beat them the first time, but they beat us the second time. Don't do that, Mr. Gemini. Please, please. I beg you. I beg you. Don't do that. Because when you do that, you're making this win seem invalid. And the fact of the matter is, the Bucks are trash. That ain't our fault. That ain't our fault. That's on them. That's on them. I bet you others aren't thinking about that when they get wins on us. You're supposed to get wins. You're supposed to get wins regardless if that's a good team or a bad team. Getting wins equals bettering your chances making it to the playoffs. Don't matter what team we go up against. Yeah, there's going to be certain teams more difficult than others based on record, of course. But you're supposed to treat every game as its own, and the objective is the win. That objective does not change regardless of the team, regardless of the opponent. Regardless of the opponent. Jeff R said it best. I don't understand this. They weren't at full strength crap. Heck, we weren't at full strength. Facts. We traded our best player, Horn and Chin, hurt. Yeah, we had a number of folks that were hurt for this game. My point is, Mr. Gemini, you're saying if they are so trash and whatnot, that's fine. If that's the case, that's fine. Explain why before last Sunday we lost 5 straight games against them. I'm just saying. Like, we gotta stop looking down on our victories. We gotta stop doing that. this season. The last game that we won before Sunday was week 3. Come on now. I beg of y'all. And you know, it's not trying to signal anybody out, but it's like I see enough of this crap on other channels, and it's demoralizing. It's demoralizing. It's like, dang, we can't even. It's demoralizing. The Bucks being trashed, that ain't our problem. That ain't our problem. Every win counts for something. These folks are out there playing to win, and we have the opportunity to play to win the division and then some. Because we definitely aren't out of it. That's why I stress one game at a time. One game at a time. Yes, we got to move on from last week, but that still doesn't change the fact that last week was a win that contributes to our record in a positive way. But we can't do that. As fans, we can't do that. We can't do that as fans. Because the fact of the matter is, no matter how bad or trash the NFC South division may look compared to the other divisions, every division has a division champion that goes to the playoffs. Whether it's whether they get a first round bye or they play in the wild card. I mean, that's why there's a division champion each year for each division. They're not going to just up and say, "Oh, nobody in the NFC South can qualify for the playoffs." That ain't going to happen. Like I do apologize. I do apologize. It's just I see way too much. We're down when we lose, but then when we win, we take it lightly. Yes, there's still a lot of football left to play, but each win counts. Each win counts. Besides, when was the last time we beat a team 21-3 or less convincingly? I'm just saying. I'm sorry, Paul. Let me recap what you're saying. Each week games is unique to itself. The NFL is so even that anything can happen on any given Sunday. So enjoy when you get a win. Facts. This week's game may be the biggest game of the season. Panthers win and they can get on a nice roll to get back into the NFC South race. Facts. I'd like to see the offense play calling, let PJ use his feet and some naked bootlegs and rolling it once in a while to keep the defense honest. Facts. Jeff R., we out here playing with a fourth-string quarterback and people are making excuses for the other team. Facts. And if there wasn't any hope or any shot of that potentially happening again, then why the heck is PJ Walker starting this Sunday? Mr. Gemini says, if we play good against the Falcons, then I'll believe we got it together. Brother, I'm going to hold that to you. I'll hold it to you. Deal? I'll hold it to you. I'm going to hold you to it. But we got a good chance to win this game if we play complete football like we did last week. Complete football. You know, we may have to make some adjustments to the lineups. Depends on how injuries go. But I think we got a shot. Definitely got a shot. I would like to also see some rollouts for PJ Walker. I would love to see some rollouts. You know, I think he's been doing pretty well on rollouts. You know, he had a really nice pitch and catch to DJ Moore on a rollout. I'd like to see him, you know, get some bootlegs, some rollouts. You know, get that going. You know? I really like some of the stuff that was called. And, you know, hopefully the deep shots will come. Like I said, had a beautiful deep throw to Terrace Marshall Jr., but he just could not haul it in. But I think he'll redeem himself. I really think he will. He's going to have some more playing time. And that's the thing with all these other receivers. DJ's still the number one, but we're going to get to see some other receivers really step up. I mean, Tommy Tremble at the tight end position got a beautiful catch. So I'm hoping to see some other receivers really step up and make some plays. You know, I want to see Terrace Marshall use his height, reel in some catches. Shi Smith can potentially be a deep threat. Laviska Shenault, who's got speed and tackle breaking ability. Let me ask y'all something. Do y'all think we should pick up a wide receiver? You think we should pick up a wide receiver? I'm curious what y'all have to say to that. Think we should pick up a wide receiver? Paul says, if I hear one more fan say we're ruining our draft position by winning, isn't a true fan. I'll worry about next year's draft when the season's over. You play to win the game. Facts. The great Herman Edwards said it best as well. I like how Terrace Marshall contributed and made some plays despite that early drop. Yeah, that was I really hated that he dropped that because he was wide open all by himself. Oh, man. Goodness gracious. But let's see. I was hoping the coach would mention his progress, for I believe Terrace Marshall can use as much confidence from his coaches. Yeah, that much is true. That much is true. Mr. Gemini also makes a good point. Need more time to evaluate our receivers to see if we need another one or not. That's a fair point. That is a fair point. I'm trying to let me look at our wide receiver room. Oh, now that I think about it. Wow, so according to the depth chart, DJ Moore is the number one. Shi Smith is the number two. He's on the opposite side. DJ Moore, Shi Smith. Huh. Then Terrace Marshall Jr., then Rashard Higgins, then Laviska Shenault. But we haven't really seen much out of Rashard Higgins, so hopefully that changes. but I'm guessing it's looking like DJ Moore, Shi Smith, Terrace Marshall Jr. is our front three. Is our front three receivers. You know, maybe Terrace Marshall in the slot, or they could alternate Shi and Terrace Marshall in the slot. Paul says Chenault should be close to 100% this week. Here's hoping. We're going to need him. We're going to need him. We're going to need him. And remember, Shi Smith has also been on punt return squad as well. I mean, I don't know. Maybe we could possibly use a boost. Maybe one boost. Maybe one. Let me take a gander. Let me take a gander at this. Well, not really any particular names stand out. I mean, Cole Beasley retired. Emmanuel Sanders retired. And Deshaun Jackson just signed with the Ravens. I don't know. I would keep an eye out, but I think Mr. Gemini makes a good point though. See about evaluating our current receiving core. But it might be something to think about. Tito Z, what's up? What's up, champ? I know I'm late, but I want to see the defense come through for the win against the Falcons. Not trying to change the subject you're on. Oh, no, you're good, bro. You're good. Defense. We should hopefully be getting some more of our folks back on defense healthy. Hopefully J.C. Horn, at least J.C. Horn. Maybe Matt Ioannidis as well. I know he was dealing with some concussion stuff. So hopefully we'll be able to wreak havoc on that Falcons offense. But my main thing is got to contain Marcus Mariota because the dude can run. Mr. Gemini says Robert Quinn got traded to the Eagles. Yeah, I did see that. That's big. That's big for them. Eagles trying to put together a Super Bowl team like no joke. And Mr. Gemini's not scared of the Falcons. Oh, I like the confidence. Paul says, I like to see the practice squad wide receiver Wright, who played well in preseason and caught almost everything in the summer. What was it? Oh man, I forgot his name. What the heck was his name? I know who you're talking about. I just cannot think of his name. Hold up. Let me organize this. I know who you're talking about. Just can't think of his name. Derek Wright. Yeah, Derek Wright. Dude's got hands. He's got hands. Oh, to catch a ball thrown to him. Duh, duh. He's got hands. Oh, it's my bad ZZ Top impersonation. Anyway. But yeah, score predictions. I would like to see initially I would like to see 28-7 Carolina, but I think Jeff R has the most realistic score prediction so far, 24-17 Panthers. But you know, and you know what? I like PJ Walker's attitude. Said last week doesn't matter anymore. This week matters the most. I gotta give PJ credit. I like how he's going about this. I am loving how PJ's attitude is. Paul says, I think they are going to play Higgins. I'd rather see Derek Wright get some reps. Yeah, here's hoping. Here's hoping. Because definitely want to see some more out of Rashard Higgins. But it's going to be very interesting. Oh, Paul says, I see a 20-16 type of game with Panthers win. 20-16. So close. Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, it is in Atlanta. And, you know, we have our struggles playing in Atlanta. I know we won last year in Atlanta, but got to see if we can do it again. PJ, Tito Z says, PJ is a team player because if Corral was healthy, PJ would be out of here. That's a good point, actually. That's actually a good point. Because, I mean, PJ Walker was pretty much on his way out because we would have had Sam, Baker, Matt Corral, and PJ would have been at the bottom. So yeah. Whoo, just goes to show you it was a good thing they did not jump to conclusions on letting him go. I had to say if they are going to use Higgins, then bring up if they're going to use Higgins, then bring up Derek Wright. Gotcha. No, I feel you. Right on. Mr. Gemini says these next two games, especially this game, is huge. It's going to be a make or break season. Yeah, next two games, Falcons, Bengals. I mean, next three, Falcons, Bengals, Falcons. So it won't be long before we got to play the Falcons a second time. And the Falcons, the second game is actually the Thursday nighter. That's where we get to wear all black. That's right. I forgot about that, y'all. We get to see the new helmets. The new helmets for Carolina. And that second Atlanta game, that's a Thursday nighter. Yeah. So that's going to be something to look out for. Yes, indeed. But yeah, y'all. Yeah, Mr. Gemini says, I kind of wanted to see CMC in that black helmet, though. Now that I think about it, I mean, I know the Niners lost, but let me see the stats of how CMC did in that game. I'm curious. How did CMC do in that game? 8 carries, 38 yards, had a 12-yard run. He also had 2 catches, 24 yards. Oh, okay. His longest was 13. Okay. CMC got a little bit of involvement. But that was rough for San Francisco. Jimmy G throwing 2 picks. Jeez. Sacked 5 times? Jeez. Paul says, have to build off the win from last week and start stacking some wins. Oh yeah, we gotta start building a win streak for sure. For sure. Especially, 2 back-to-back division games. Not easy, but we gotta do it. Tito Z says, if PJ can manage all 3 games, we have a nice but not a good chance at a playoff run. It might turn out to be enough to maybe land a wild card spot. That is if, we don't win the division. But I don't think it will equal PJ staying in the long run. But, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe he can put up over 200 yards this next game. The Falcons secondary, is a kind of open. So hopefully can make some plays in the air. Paul says Niners play the Rams on Sunday, so they will feature CMC quite a bit versus the Rams. Oh, yeah? Right on, right on. But, yeah. Got to get it. But yeah, y'all, it's going to be quite interesting to see how this goes. That's for sure. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Mr. Gemini, I gotta pick on you one more time. I gotta pick on you just a little bit. Mr. Gemini. You said the Steelers beat the Buccaneers, which is true. The Steelers did beat the Buccaneers. But they beat them by a score of 20-18. We beat them 21-3. I don't know about you, but that's kind of a different interval. Not to mention Tom Brady got a touchdown in that game. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I had to bring that up. I apologize in advance, but I had to bring that up. I had to bring that up. I had to bring that up. I had to do it. I had to do it. The Packers beat them too, and they're not that good this year. The Packers won 14-12. 14-12, 20-18, 21-3. Do you see a pattern there? Do you see a pattern there? I'm just saying. There's a pattern there. Paul says only the winner of the NFC South will likely make the playoffs, and an 8-9 could win the NFC South this season. The way they're all playing so far. Yeah, that is true. That is true. Jeff R says we don't have to beat the Bengals, although it would be nice, but we definitely need to win all our games in our division. Facts. Absolutely. That's why this Sunday's game is so important. So important. NFL still has the Bucs number 8 overall. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, you got to look at their losses. Lost by 2 points, lost by 10 points, lost by 2 points, and then lost by 18 points. It's kind of a big difference. I know Carolina's not there yet, but still, that was a statement win. I don't care what anybody says. That was a statement win. Paul says, I'm way over CMC, and I feel like the offense will blossom with him gone. I like CMC, but the offense was too dependent on one player, which I'd never consider a good thing, and makes your offense too predictable and easier to defend. Facts. Paul's right. I mean, we were very one-dimensional. And CMC was our safety blanket. But now that he's gone, we got to spread the ball now. We got to spread the ball. We got to use our weapons, our other weapons, which we've had all along. They just weren't our main priority because we had CMC. So, I miss CMC as well. He was one of the best running backs we've had. But if losing CMC equals this team gels more, which leads to wins, which leads to a playoff, then I'm all for it. At the end of the day, this is a business. But you know something? I got to be honest with y'all. I work with a couple of coworkers that are fans of other teams that are looking down on the Carolina Panthers. And I really hope this team feeds from that and turns it against them. I really do. Mr. Gemini says one game is not enough for me. I need to see more. We all want to see more. That's the idea. We all want to see more. Oh, because we're not done yet. We're definitely not done yet. I don't think we are. I definitely don't think we are. I don't think we're done yet, Mr. Gemini. I don't think we're done. Paul says, if the Panthers win 2 of the next 3 games with 2 of these versus the Falcons, then the Panthers would be 4-6 overall with a real shot and momentum with a 4-0 record in the division. And see, that's the thing too, y'all. It's so important because, looking at the standings. Or actually, let me go back to the Panthers' schedule right quick. So, Falcons, Bengals, Falcons. Okay, so that's 2 upcoming NFC South games. That takes care of the Falcons games. And then after the bye, the last 2 games of the season are the Bucks and then the Saints. So, okay, you know what? Let's compare schedules, y'all. Let's compare schedules. All right. So the Panthers who are 2-5 right now, 2-0 in the NFC South. We've already beaten the Saints once. We've already beaten the Buccaneers once. So the remaining games, Falcons, Bengals, Falcons, Ravens, Broncos, Seahawks, Steelers, Lions, Buccaneers, Saints. Okay? The Falcons. Let's check out this Falcons schedule. So Falcons are 3-4 right now, and technically they are first. Or actually, no. Hold up, hold up. Okay, Falcons are one. Actually, hold up. The Falcons are 0-2 in the NFC South right now. They have not won an NFC South division game because their 3 losses are against the Saints, or excuse me, their 4 losses were against the Saints, Rams, Bucks, and Bengals. So right now, the Falcons are 0-2 in the NFC South. So we know they got to play the Panthers twice coming up. They play the Chargers as well. The Bears, the Commanders, the Steelers, the Saints, Ravens, Cardinals, Buccaneers. That's the Falcons' remaining schedule. Okay. The Saints. The Saints are 2-5. And the Saints are 1-1 right now in the NFC South. The Saints still have to play the Raiders, Ravens, Steelers, Rams, Niners, Bucks, Falcons, Browns, Eagles, and then they finish against us, the Panthers. Honestly, y'all, the Saints have a very difficult schedule. The Saints have a very difficult schedule, y'all, because the Saints have already lost to the Bucks, to the Panthers, to the Vikings, to the Bengals, and to the Cardinals. Mr. Gemini says, if the Bucks lose tomorrow night and we win this weekend, are we in first place? Good question. Let's find out. So if the Bucks lose, the Bucks will be wait, who do the Bucks play next? Let me see who the Bucks actually play next. Oh, they play the Ravens. So yeah, they play the Ravens next. If the Bucks lose, the Bucks will be 3-5. Actually, yeah, we would take first place. If the Bucks lose and then we win, yeah, we would take first place. That's correct. That is correct. Oh, Kevin's back. So what are your overall thoughts about the team? We got a good shot at taking the lead of the division. And then let's look at the Bucks' upcoming schedule. The Bucks are 3-4. They have to face the Ravens, Rams, Seahawks, Browns, Saints, Niners, Bengals, Cardinals, Panthers, and then they finish against the Falcons. I mean, this NFC South division will definitely be up for grabs in a big way. I think the main thing that will help Carolina is if Carolina can win their NFC South games. If they can win their NFC South games, then that will give them a great shot at winning the division. I mean, of course, it still doesn't change the fact of win as many games as you can. But if we can get these divisional wins, that's going to really, really increase their chances to make the playoffs. Not to mention the Bucks are on a 2-game losing streak right now. Bucks are on a 2-game losing streak. So, I mean, anything can happen. The Saints are on a 2-game losing streak. So right now, the Bucks and the Saints are on a 2-game losing streak. Paul says Bucks have 4 more starters out for tomorrow night game. Left guard, tight end, cornerback, and safety, and still have wide receiver Godwin and Jones hurting. Isn't Mike Evans still kind of banged up a little bit? I thought he was banged up a little bit. But yeah, like, but the fact of the matter is, we got to stay focused. Our team's got to stay focused. Kevin, Mike says Mike Evans got traded. No. Mike Evans is still with the Bucks. He's still with the Bucks. You heard some trade rumors? Really? No, honestly, they would be stupid to trade Mike Evans. The Bucks would be dumb to trade Mike Evans. The dude has had 1,000 yards receiving every year of his career with the Bucks. They would be stupid to get rid of Mike Evans. Shoot, let the Bucks trade Mike Evans. They would be on board to making the dumbest trade in NFL history if they trade Mike Evans. Shoot. I would laugh until I cried. I would laugh until I cried if they traded Mike Evans. Mm-hmm. Saints said they are playing Andrew Dalton over cleared Jameis Winston. Wait, what? The Saints are going to start Andy Dalton again? Wow. After he threw 3 picks, they're going to wow. So Jameis Winston is back and cleared, and they're still going to start Andy Dalton, who just threw 3 picks in the previous game? Wow. I guess Jameis Winston must not really be ready. He must not really be ready. Shoot. He must not really be ready. Shoot. Nah, he ain't ready. He ain't ready. No way. No way, dude. No way, dude. The Bills just traded Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs to the Panthers for a nice treat. I wish. Saints coach is going to get fired. Peyton might have to come back after all. Yeah, Jeff R. I don't know what they're on thinking that they would. Wow. Maybe Jameis Winston got in trouble or something, because that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. He must have gotten in trouble. He must have gotten in trouble. That's what I think. He must have gotten in trouble. Oh dear. Ugh. Did I not say? Paul says, did I not say, Jason, when the Bucks signed that Julio Jones, that I wasn't worried, as he's a shell of himself and on his last leg? I mean, that's fine, but I wasn't going to sit there and assume that that was the case when this is somebody that has torched the Panthers for many, many years. I won't go make that assumption, Paul. I mean, that's fine that you said that, but I wasn't going to make that assumption when history has shown Julio Jones has torched the Panthers for a number of years. So it is what it is, but 1 year compared to a bunch of years, I'm just saying. Kevin says, on a scale of 1 to 10, how optimistic are this team? Six and a half. 6.5. And like I said, that is solely based on difficulty. That's based on difficulty. I can't say any higher than a 6.5, because then I'd be reaching. So 6.5. Yeah, I gotta be real about it. I think 6.5. Paul says, I'm a 7 on the optimistic scale. Ooh, I admire your confidence. I don't know if I can go that high. I don't know if I could go that high. Yeah, I don't know if I can go that high. I'm scared to go that high, Paul. I'm scared to go that high. Oh, man. Kevin says, I agree. Do you like the team chemistry that Steve Wilkes is improving on? The players really want to play for him. Yep, it's definitely showing that. I agree. I definitely agree. A lot of folks are rallying behind him. And I think he's definitely got a little something going. So I'm confident this is going to translate. But for those that haven't chimed in on score predictions, which I'm thinking probably everybody has by now, score predictions, any last minute score predictions. Kevin says, I like that he is actually coaching the players because they are executing better on the field. Yeah. Facts. Kevin says 35-20. 35-20. Woo. Maybe perhaps a good combo of passing and rushing touchdowns, I would like to see us get some takeaways though. We haven't had some takeaways in a while. Hopefully we get some takeaways. That'll help. We need some takeaways. Yeah, we could use some takeaways. But it's about time we scored 30 points more often. Ooh. Baby steps. Baby steps. Well, hopefully big steps, but it might take baby steps. But, we got to feed off of the momentum and build a win streak. We got to build a win streak. We haven't had one of those in a while. We haven't had one of those since the first 3 weeks of last season. That was the last win streak we had. So we're due for a win streak. We're due for a win streak. So I think we're due. What do y'all think? Don't y'all think we're due for a win streak? Mr. Gemini, so Steve Wilkes is the reason why we haven't beat the Bucks in 2 years. Well, Mr. Gemini, think about this. Last year, the 2 losses to the Bucks, they scored 32 points. Or actually, yeah, the 2 losses last year, 32-6, 41-17. 2020, 46-23. 31-17. And then the one loss we had, 20-14. You see a pattern there? You see a pattern with those last 2 years? I mean, it's not so much Steve Wilkes may be part of it, but I wouldn't say he's the only reason. I mean, you got to look back at those 2 seasons, Mr. Gemini, how badly we lost those games. Like for reals. Kevin says in 2015, there were so many 30 plus, even 40-point games. You remember the 44-16 against the Redskins? Oh, yeah. Cam had 5 touchdowns that game. Yeah, that was a crazy game. That was a crazy game. Mr. Gemini, come on, dude. Come on, dude. You're invalidating the victory. You're invalidating the victory. The Bucks were a playoff Super Bowl team, but yet, like I said, we hadn't been able to beat them in 2 seasons. 2 seasons. 2 seasons, bro. And that was the first time we were able to beat them with Tom Brady at the helm. Come on, dude. you're invalidating the victory. You're invalidating it. But that's the thing. Like, you got to realize, like, you're saying more negative than positive right now. Like, the Bucs are trash. Bucs haven't been the same team. Once again, that ain't our problem. The Panthers' job is to go in and win games. They're not thinking about, oh, this team is really bad or really good. The objective is the same. The objective is the same, regardless. The objective is the same. That doesn't change. Good team, bad team, mediocre team, mid team, it don't matter. Not to mention the fact that we hadn't beaten a team that's in our division since many years ago. And the last 2 straight seasons, we couldn't get a single win. And not to mention the losses were really bad. Really bad. And when you think about it, we beat them while we were at 1-5. 1-5. And the reason why I'm being critical is because if we turn around and do the same thing to the Falcons, a big bunch of the fan base is going to say the same thing. They're going to say the same thing. Because what's everybody saying? NFC South is trash. NFC South is trash. Is that the case compared to the others? Sure. But this division also has a division champion by the end of the season that goes to the playoffs, just like every other division. We can't look at that so much. All right, Paul, thanks for coming through. Good to see you. That's all I'm saying. Because the thing is, if we get on a win streak, if we start getting on a win streak, then it starts with the Bucs game. When you think about it. But at the same time, we still got to take each game one game at a time. We do have to take each game one game at a time. That doesn't change. Because like I said, we all, as part of the Keep Pounding Nation, we all want to see more wins going forward. This Sunday, next Sunday, as many victories as possible this season. That definitely, I think, is apparent for sure. But we can't go out here and get wins and then downplay them. We can't do that, especially when we're in a position where we have the chance to still win our division. We can't do that. We can't do that, especially as fans. We can't do that. We can't do that. Because it's like I said in some of the other channels, live streams recently. Like a team that makes the playoffs at 15-2 and wins the Super Bowl versus a team that makes the playoffs 8-8 and wins the Super Bowl. What the heck is the difference? They both count. So what's the difference? What's the difference? They both count the same. They both count the same. Like, wait, Kevin says it matters your record. The team with a better record is better. True. Record-wise, yes. But you saw what happened in the Super Bowl, the Patriots versus the Giants. You saw what happened to the Panthers, Super Bowl 50. Made it there 15-1, and you saw what happened there. All that at the end of the day is great, but if it leads to no championship, it is a failed mission. Failed mission. And you know why I say that? You know why I say that? Is because the Carolina Panthers are still one of the franchises that has yet to win a Super Bowl. And we've been there twice. Kevin, you're such a troll. Mr. Gemini says, I'm happy for the win, but I'll believe it when I see it. But as of right now, one game isn't enough for me to say they turned it around. And then you have to also remember, Mr. Gemini, I mean, we didn't win the Rams game. New coach came, interim coach came in the Rams game, which was the week before last. So, I mean, hey. But both count. Both count. I mean, look what happened to the Falcons. Falcons went to the Super Bowl. Matt Ryan had an MVP season the year after Cam's MVP season. They were up, what, 20, what was it, 28-3? And we saw what happened. We make it there, we make it there. We win it, we win it. Doesn't matter if we're undefeated and we get there. Doesn't matter if we're 8-8 and we get there. Whatever translates to a Super Bowl, I'll be happy with. May be pretty, may be ugly, but it all counts the same. It all counts the same. Jeff R says, that's why I'm scared from that Super Bowl. These days, I never pay attention to records anymore. Yeah. And it was really unfortunate because, you know, as we saw, Peyton Manning did not have a good game. Peyton Manning did not have a good game. Kevin says, there should be more people watching these streams. Why nobody here? I haven't made it big like the others. The others are way more popular than me. But it's all good. It's all good. And to be honest, some of the other ones, if you ask me, are a little, well, no, I'm not going to say a little, but they're kind of way too negative if you ask me. They're just way too negative. Yeah, Jeff R makes a good point because the other streams, they want to cry and complain about everything. Yeah, I mean, Panthers roar. Oh, yeah. I still need to do that. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and put that in my search. Thank you for reminding me that, actually. Yeah, thank you for reminding me that. Okay, found it. Thank you so much for reminding me of that, Kevin. Cool. Oh, snap. He's got 496 subscribers. Nice. He's got 496. I got 490. Uh-oh. It's a race for 500. No, I'm just joking. It's all good. He is funny but rude, and listen to him. Oh yeah? Just a fan. Fair enough, fair enough. But yeah, I'll check him out. But yeah, y'all. I think that's gonna do it for tonight. But oh, he talked about Sam Darnold, old Sammy D is what he calls him. Old Sammy D. Dang. But I mean, it looks like he'll be back healthy, maybe within a week or two or so. I don't know. But we got to ride the hot hand. And right now, the hot hand is PJ Walker. But anyway, I'm just about out of coffee. But Panthers at Falcons, 2-0 in the NFC South. We got a chance to become 3-0 in the NFC South and take first place. Let's go defeat these dirty birds. I got a friend or two that are Falcon fans. Oh, we got one last question. Jeff R. What do y'all think Matt Rule is thinking about that last win? Shoot. He's probably pulling a Dolph Ziggler and is being like, it should have been me. That's probably what he's thinking. Yeah, Jeff R. That's what he's thinking. It should have been me. Yeah, I think that's what he's thinking. Oh man. But I hope he finds a spot ASAP, just not with Carolina, I'm sure there's going to be some spots opening up in college or maybe another NFL team, and for whatever folks out there were making Chip Kelly talk, shame on y'all. Falcons are a stupid team, and I hope they never make it to a Super Bowl again. I do have to admit that Super Bowl choke job was the biggest choke job of all time. Like, I put that even worse than the Bills losing in the Super Bowl 4 times. That's how bad that choke job was. I'm just saying. So I picked that as the biggest choke job in NFL history, and I pick the Seattle Seahawks last play, that interception against the Patriots, the dumbest play call in NFL history. Like, the Falcons had no business blowing that big of a lead. Yeah, 25 point. They had no business blowing that big of a lead. But anyway, looks like folks are starting to roll out. It's been real, y'all. But let's go into Atlanta. Let's go into Dirty Bird country and beat the mess out of these Atlanta Falcons and get this 3rd victory. Let's do it. Keep pounding. Keep pounding. I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I love y'all. God bless y'all. Keep pounding, y'all. See y'all next time. Peace.